Good evening, Des Moines. Welcome to the Doc and Lefty program, broadcasting to you from the Northside studio at webcast1live.com. This is Lefty. As always, we're bringing you the perspectives you love from the side you hate. And across the table with me is not my good friend, neighbor, partner, soulmate, and I guess partner in crime. Although Mike, you could be all of those things.
I guess I could be. You know, one of the things that's probably going to blow a lot of your viewers' minds tonight is that is there not a doc or a lefty? There's two lefties sitting here.
True.
This could be over the top.
There aren't any doctors in the house.
No, there are no doctors in the house.
We got plenty of lefties.
Yeah.
But no, we have a friend of the show, Michael Libby, here tonight to help fill in for Pat while he's traveling abroad.
Where's Pat, by the way?
Well, the last I heard, he was in the Tower of London cell for insulting some kind of royalty.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that. No, he's traveling in London. He's taking in some rugby. He's taken some time off. This guy, you can't never keep a beat on him. You can't keep a beat on him. He's always bouncing around from one thing to the next. But so usually when we start the show, if folks you've been watching for a while, we do this thing that I like to call mental throat clearing, just sort of like talking about what's going on to kind of ease ourselves into it. But we got a lot to talk about, not the least of which is that my beloved Chicago Cubs are in the bottom of the eighth inning right now at Wrigley to clinch the NLDS championship. They're up 6-4. So if I seem a little bit distracted, that's why. But I promise to be as professional as I possibly can be.
There's nothing that you can really do about this. You sit here and you can kvetch about it. You can get nervous about it. But at the end of the day, you just send good vibes.
You're a much more rational human being than I am. When folks say that when folks kind of point out to me sometimes if I get too jacked up, because the only two sports things I really care about is Chicago Cubs baseball and my beloved Iowa Hawkeye football team.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have enough room in my heart for that much suffering.
I understand.
Right? And so when people ask,
that's a good year for you.
It's a very good year. It's a very good year. The Hawks are 6-0 and the Cubs are on the verge.
I
know. So we're having a good time. I'm having an excellent time, but that's the only time I really get too excited about sports, because there's a lot more things to talk about that actually have a real effect on the country at whole, like this 2015-2016 presidential race that we've got going on.
We've heard the Republicans now twice. They've had two national debates,
yes,
and with a whole stage full of idiocy,
and then some.
That go from anyway. Mm-hmm. So I've been watching those, and I thought that was very entertaining. Tonight, the Democrats take the floor. There are 5 Democratic contenders. I think it's interesting. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be in the middle, flanked by the gentleman on both the left and the right. So it'll be interesting. I look forward to this, because I think this debate that happens at 7:30 Central Time on CNN will make or break, I believe, the future for Governor Martin O'Malley.
He's got the most to lose, for sure.
He does, and the most to gain. Mm-hmm. I don't see Senator Sanders attacking. That's not his ilk. I do see, because he's a scrappy guy, I see Governor O'Malley coming out and swinging and taking a couple of punches out, or giving up a couple of punches just to be able to score some points and something for his lagging campaign.
Do you think that? He'll obviously, you got to go after Hillary.
Right.
There's no question about that. But do you think that she'll respond? Now, we saw her get down in the weeds with President Obama back in 2008. Mm-hmm. That was more the campaign that she was running at that time. This year, with
softer, kinder
Hillary Clinton, sort of New Hampshire Hillary rather than the South Carolina Hillary. Yeah. But and I think that's because she's still up significantly in national polling, and boy, at the risk of sounding crass, I don't believe we've still seen a housebroken Republican candidate emerge in this on that side. I think that they all have problems going inside the house, so to speak. And so I think that's given her a little bit of room to focus more on the issues and not do so much of the attacking and point scoring. What do you think about? What do you think about that?
I think that's accurate. I don't look for Hillary to come out swinging or anything else. I think she'll be very firm in her answers, and she she has the ability, because she's done this for so long. Mm-hmm. She has the ability. She's got a wealth of knowledge I think the only knock on Hillary this evening will be that this is much more of an establishment candidate than perhaps some of the electorate would like to see. I think that once they hear Governor O'Malley, and this is really a shame that they haven't had more opportunity to hear Governor O'Malley, because as a policy wonk, the governor is absolutely right on with so many of the issues that he talks about. And if you go to his website, and I'm not supporting Governor O'Malley at this point, I'm just calling attention to the fact that if you go to his website, he has got a plethora of solidly well thought out issues that, and he's adding something all the time. And the guy, and he's got a track record for being able to do well. And how come he's only polling at 2 and 3% is astounding.
It's got to be a name recognition thing, especially with Hillary Clinton taking up all the oxygen, and Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders, getting out there early. I think Bernie Sanders declaring as early as he did is really the reason. Other than he's a dynamic speaker, and he's and honestly, and this, what, you bring up an interesting point. Martin O'Malley has come out. He's come out solidly with some solid ideas for some firearm legislation. At
Absolutely.
least,
and he's done it in Baltimore.
Yes, he's done it in Baltimore. It's proven to. Well, I think the violent crime rate in Baltimore is down. But when you talk about statistics like that, I'm always very skeptical. I don't really want to rely on those because. As if you ever watch The Wire, folks, you have a pretty good idea that those can be misleading, especially from a governor. But that has an interest in making those stats look good. But they at least are they're reforms that make sense. And you've seen Hillary and Bernie latch on to some of those ideas. Bernie, who has kind of a problem with firearms, being from Vermont, at least on the liberal side. But I wonder, is that a Lincoln Chafee seems like a one or two issue guy. A Martin O'Malley seems a little bit more serious, but he's kind of collapsing to a one or two issue sort of guy. Are they throwing out ideas to pull Hillary, the presumed nominee, further along to the left?
I think so. I think that you're going to find that Hillary's going to have to track a little bit more to the left to be able to get individuals that tend to have those. Bernie Sanders is rock solid on so many issues, with the gun issue being one of those that is questionable among many of the liberals. But I think that at the end of the day, Bernie Sanders, his ability to articulate the issues. He's been there. He's won all of these elections in the past. He's a marvelous a spokesperson for so many of these issues. I think it's great. On the issue of gun control, and I know when the president was talking about Roseburg.
Yep.
Roseburg. Thank you. And it was, he's politicizing it, and all those other kinds of knocks. Well, it is a political issue. Unfortunately, many of the people that are talking about that don't make it a political issue are the very ones that make it a political issue. But that being said, I have a rock solid plan for effective gun control in this country.
I'm anxious to hear it.
And I don't understand why I haven't heard any of the major candidates lift this up, because I think it's absolutely, it's from me, so it's absolutely great.
Hey, you know what, Mike? So far, so good. I'm right there.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Well, I am a full proponent of the Second Amendment. I think that it's a wonderful, not only the entire writing of the draft and the declaration and the document, but I'm really into the Second Amendment. I think the right to keep and bear arms is absolutely rock solid in this nation. And what I'd like to see happen is, and I did the math on this, so it is affordable, that every child born in the United States of America on their birth is handed a Glock 43.
Oh my.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Glock 43 or not. It is a wonderful firearm. It is a concealable firearm.
Mm-hmm.
It's small. I believe it holds 9 rounds. That's gun talk for bullets.
Sure. Thank you.
I'm trying to be.
Hey, I'm about as far out left. Gun. You say?
Yes.
Gun.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So anyway, a Glock 43. Every child born in the United States, and that would be in keeping with the Second Amendment.
Yep.
All right.
It absolutely would.
And then what we do is all we do, and this is so simple, that we the price of a round or a bullet is $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So we set the price of the ammunition at $1,000 per round, but everybody gets a gun. So we are really, we're enabling the Second Amendment. Everybody gets...
And we're going to take a break here in a quick segment. You know what's funny? Chris Rock had that same exact idea.
No, come on.
He did. He
stole it from me.
Bigger and Blacker, his HBO special about 10, 20, 15 years ago, where he said, we don't need gun control, we need bullet control. We're sitting here with Michael Libby. We're going to be back here talking a little bit more about some ideas for the reforms of some of the ideas of the Democratic candidates. They're going on their first debate tonight at 7:30 on CNN. So finish up with us and then go over there. But please check out our sponsors. We've got Bertrosian Associates, Libinus Law Firm at LibinusLawFirm.com. We've got Halo Capital, DesMoinesInterestsRates.com, DesMoinesInterestsRates.com, and Des Moines Anesthesia PC. They do pain management. They do a whole host of other things for your anesthetic needs. And so please give them a call if you need those kind of services at 515-574-6442. We're at DocAndLefty.com, and we'll be right back after this message.